We strive to not make mistakes. We strive to do good. It doesn't matter whether we're in healthcare or whether we're in another business. But there will come a time when we make mistakes, when errors occur.
BusinessJournalDaily.com 3 Minutes With is brought to you by Farmers National Bank.
The following is an excerpt from the Brain Gain Youngstown Leadership Series. The new podcast features conversations with local leaders who are focused on building a culture of entrepreneurship and promoting workforce development.
So, John, any leadership mistakes you'd like to share? Things that you can share with our audience? Things you've learned along the way?
Yeah, I think that the challenge many of us, including me, face as our career progresses is being able to let go of those things which once occupied much of your time and your priority and move on to those new challenges as your role progresses in an organization or between organizations, and to delegate those things that were once cherished, parts of what you did. And being careful to not micromanage those newly accountable individuals, it can be hard. And I think that's something that I've continued to work to master, because all of us have a great deal of passion for those things with which we're entrusted. And then you move on. And then as you do that, you if you're in the same organization, you kind of sometimes have a hard time letting go. But being able to let go enough to take on those new challenges is tough. And that's something I think that I and others have probably struggled with from time to time, is being sure that you're adequately mentoring and delegating as you move on in your career, so that others can not only be effective, but also so that you can be an effective leader in your new role.
How far do you let delegation go before you step in and just say, because it is life and death?
Yeah, that's a great question. And one of the interesting things that exists in healthcare is exactly what you just alluded to. It is life and death in some situations, right? So how much of a leash do you allow people, and how much independence do you support? I think that the key with that is it varies in day to day and person to person and topic to topic. And you really need to set very clear guide rails around the decision-making capacity and the expectations of those delegated leaders. And I think as you do that and you do it successfully, the leaders actually over time gain more and more and more leeway. And that, if you would, allows me as the leader of the market to increasingly take on new responsibilities. So it's really a win-win when you do it well. But I think the key is establishing great communication, and B, a mutually agreed upon guide rails, so that everybody understands where we're going, how we're going to get there, but also very clearly how to communicate when a problem arises, and have as a real comfort level in managing that. As I started my emergency medicine residency, and this is a fun memory in many ways, there were 8 of us sitting around a table the day before we started our clinical experience. So we were fresh out of medical school. We were feeling pretty smart. We had zero experience taking care of patients. And our residency director was in the room with us. And he said, very insightfully, he said, so really there's only 2 rules in this residency, and every one of you need to be able to recite them now, and you need to be able to recite them when you finish your residency. The first rule is never make a mistake. Wow. The second rule is when you do, because you will, the first call is to me. And interestingly, that stayed with me, because that's really encapsulates much of what we need to do on a daily basis, right? We strive to not make mistakes. We strive to do good. It doesn't matter whether we're in healthcare or whether we're in another business. But there will come a time when we make mistakes, when errors occur. But you have to feel perfectly comfortable escalating those immediately so that they can be dealt with. And I think that level of transparency that he was trying to communicate to us has been something that stayed with me throughout both my clinical and my management career.
The interview you just watched is an excerpt from the Brain Gain Youngstown Leadership Series. The new podcast features conversations with local leaders who are focused on building a culture of entrepreneurship and promoting workforce development. Thanks for watching the video. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that little bell for notifications. And also make sure to connect with us on Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn. For all of your business news, visit BusinessJournalDaily.com. For all of your arts and entertainment news, go to AfterHoursYoungstown.com.
BusinessJournalDaily.com. 3 Minutes With is brought to you by Farmers National Bank.
I like a bank that's a pillar in my community.
I like a bank so cutting edge, they have a lab branch.
We are so alike.
Well, we do both bank at Farmers National Bank.
Farmers.
Stand strong.